We are back with day 20 today, and today is Mew Day, which is probably the most complicated day of them all, so this one might be a long one, but I'll do my best to go over as many things as I possibly can. So let's start with the Unite DB and see what we... Each time Mew uses a move, Mew and nearby allies have their movement speed increased by 15% per 2 seconds. I had no idea that was a thing, but that's good to know. And then we have move reset when Mew reaches level 5. The move reset icon can be used to reset Mew's moves and learn new moves. The ability goes on 25-second cooldown. After it's used, each time Mew knocks out or makes an assist on an enemy player or scores a goal, the move reset is reduced. Oh, scores a goal too? So 40% if you KO someone, 20% for an assist, and 5% for a score. So move reset adds 5000 Unite move energy to Mystical Mirage. Oh, and it also charges your ult? Interesting. Very interesting. And then auto attacks, it's immediately moved. So every time you use any ability with Mew, you gain a little boost counter, and when you get 3 boost counters, you get a boosted auto attack. Within 8 seconds, you can use them. And it basically fires a short hit that follows your opponent through any distance. During lock animation, you can use moves. The further the ball travels, the more damage it deals. 5% more damage per threshold. This ball pierces through wild Pokemon and will stop traveling with the first enemy player, so opponents can block it. Okay, and then we have... So Mew works a bit differently, right? We have 6 moves. There's no upgrades or anything. You get to pick 2 moves at the start, and at level 5 you get to pick the combination of 2 moves. So we have E-Ball, 5-second cooldown, and sure hit. Hurl an electric orb, dealing damage to enemies in the area of effect and leaving them paralyzed 40% slow for 2 seconds. So it deals more damage the lower the enemy's remaining HP is. So this is also good secure on objectives. Through light screen, damage dealt an area of effect radius are increased. So light screen basically just enhances all of our moves a little bit, but we'll get into that later. Now level 10 strengthens the effect of paralysis to 60%. We have Beam, blast a bundled beam of light, dealing damage 3 times to enemies in the AoE. If this move hits an enemy, Mew gains an additional boost counter. So when you use one, you get one, and if you hit someone, you get another one. And then through light screen, it does more damage and bigger AoE. And at level 10, which is like a huge spike for Mew and using Beam, the move cooldown reduces by 0.7 seconds every time for each enemy you hit. So at that point, your cooldown that is now 10.5 seconds if you have 3 people becomes much lower. Besides the already CDR that you get from levels. And then we have Surf, 10-second cooldown as well. It's a long cooldown. Charge forward on a wave, shoving enemies for 0.5 seconds and leaving them unable to act for 0.5 seconds. Mew gains a shield for 3 seconds and becomes immune to hindrances. While using this move, at the end of this move, Mew can jump in a designated direction and becomes immune to hindrances for a short time. If this move hits an enemy, Mew gains an additional boost counter. So if you hit someone, you get another boost counter. And you're immune to hindrances, and you can dash off at the end of it. Distance to the travel is increased and light screen attaches to Mew. Strengthens the shield, so you get more shield at level 10. Okay, and then we have our supportive options, our supportive picks, which is we have coaching, 6-second cooldown, teleport to an ally, granting them a shield for 3 seconds and increasing basic attack speed by 40% for 2 seconds. This move is used on an ally who hasn't been coached within 7 seconds. The cooldown of this move is reduced by 90%. If this move is used on an ally who has been recently coached, this move goes on cooldown. The cooldown of Electro Ball, Solar Beam, and Surf is reduced by 1 second each time this move is used. Okay, so basically, if you coach to a new ally, you get your cooldown back, and it reduces your cooldown of other moves by 1 second. And if you reuse it on someone, the move does go on 6-second cooldown. Level 12 reduces moves cooldown by 1 second and reduces the timer of recently coached on allies to 6 seconds. Okay. Then we have light screen, create a translucent wall in the designated location for 4 seconds that prevents enemies from passing and shoves them for 0.5 seconds if they make contact with the wall. So it's basically like a little barrier. Mew's Electro Ball, Solar Beam, or Surf passes through the wall. The effects of those moves will be enhanced, so they have more damage, bigger range, or more AoE range. This move is used again within 4 seconds. The wall is pulled towards Mew and follows them as they move for an additional 4 seconds. So you usually want to like pop it out to try and block someone or to block the way or something along those lines. And then you pull it towards you to have it for another 4 seconds for your moves. While the wall moves with Mew, enemy attacks that pass through will do 25% reduced damage, but will not prevent enemies from passing and does not shove them anymore. Okay, so while you're moving with the wall, you take less damage from attacks. Okay, and at level 12, the wall increases. And when you use the wall, you get a counter, and when you pull it back in, you also get a boosted attack counter. That's kind of important to note, I think. And then agility, move quickly in a designated direction, increasing Mew's movement speed by 5% per 2 seconds, holds 2 uses in reserve. So basically it's just a tiny little dash that you have 2 uses for. Increases the distance Mew moves in the designated direction. Okay, and then we have Ult, which has about has a 2-minute cooldown, but actually you can probably use it at 310, because if you if you use your move swap, which also lets you like get more cooldown, you can get it like relatively fast. Mew floats in the air for 1 second, becoming invincible for 6 seconds or until using an attack or move, creating a field around their location for 5 seconds. This field travels with Mew. Mew and all allies within the area become stealth for 4 seconds after the field expires. This move deals damage to enemies within the area of effect. So you basically can't get targeted in this. And as soon as you use an attack, you can now get targeted, or you like auto or do anything. You also like hide your teammates in this little shroud. And one thing that's important to note is you can press ult and just like go back to base and reset, and you will be able to reset without getting hit if you do it instantly. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind if you're in a really bad spot. And yeah, I'll go through all the move combos and things that are good in the actual practice a little bit. But yeah, you get a lot of CDR, so you should take note that you get a lot of abilities with once you press your ult for a little while. And these are the items, but I was told that you can, or not told, but you can also stack on it, and then you do like crazy amounts of damage if you're stacking. So that's something to keep in mind. You could put stacking glasses on for probably choice specs. Yeah, probably choice specs. Maybe wise glasses too. Yeah, either way, let's head on over to practice tool and test a lot of stuff out. Start with electro ball, pretty much 10 out of 10 times. Just because it's the best like single damage secure, and the cooldown isn't 10 seconds long like beam. But either way, this is how you're clearing. You'd have a teammate here to clear with you, but yeah, it's just. And then we would pick up light screen, so you can see our electro ball damage without light screen. And then when we do use our light screen, you can see it does more damage as it goes through. And then we get our boosted counter, and we pull in our light screen, we get another boosted e-ball, and we get another counter for it. So lots of stuff happening with Mew here. We can also, to secure farm, we can combo our boosted and our e-ball to do the most damage possible on one hit. But yeah, that's the most important stuff basically. You have like 2 secures, but your boosted can get blocked, so it's better if you use your electro ball, and especially with the light screen as well. As you can see, we can also like push away enemies with light screen to like to create space. Either way, hopefully we get level 5, and then we can choose our move swaps. As you can see, for bees you want to go beam because it's very good into bees. You can see how much damage we can do. I'm gonna take all cooldowns off just because there's a lot to go through and I need to go through it fast. But as you can see, so you can either press your light screen first and then use your beam, and then you can pull it back, or you can use your beam and then light screen, boost it, and then pull it back, and you get another counter. Every time we hit our beam, we get a counter, so you can see we get loads of counters like this. Yeah, so that's all for beam, and then we can pick surf and agility to showcase that. So you can see surf is like a stun, agility is just a single dash away. And then yeah, so surf, we can surf in, and then we can sort of dash any direction. We can also use our boosted mid-surf, so when we're coming out, we can already use it. Then I can't showcase coaching, unfortunately, but coaching works in a way where you just attach to an ally and then it teleports you that way and it gives them a shield. But yeah, those are like the basics of Mew, I guess. So sort of you really don't want to play a lot of Surf, from my understanding at the moment, because if you don't get a kill, you're stuck on it for a long time, and Surf is just not that useful. So you want to be playing a lot of Beam or E-Ball, and I think Beam after level 10 mainly, or around objectives, so you have a little bit more range. Whereas Electro Ball is there for you to finish up some kills. Yeah, and then we also have our ult, so you can see we go into a little Shroud, and we can do a lot of things in our ult. If we get a big beam, we can still stay in beam during our ult. I will also showcase the cooldown reduction, I guess. So you can see our beam 10-second cooldown or 9-second cooldown, whereas if we go into our Unite move, we can flash in it. When we use it now, it's only at a 5-second cooldown, so we get 2 beams in very quick succession, and this is pre-level 10 as well. Post-level 10 it's very different, again. And then, yeah, so we can move reset in our thing as well. We can get E-Ball, agility, so we can do like triple damage on one thing. You can see we can use our boosted auto, our E-Ball, and our ult to tick, and that does a lot of damage altogether. We can also use Surf agility, also a very common thing to push people to get a stun and get a lot of damage. If you can surf multiple people, I think this is pretty huge. So I want to test something actually. People never really use this, but I'm just curious to see, because it does give a slightly bigger range, but it's probably not worth it. So yeah, that's like the important things to note. Now after level 10 we get our cooldown reset, so hold on, let me showcase that to you guys. So if I use my beam, we have an 8-second cooldown because we have a bit more cooldown reduction in its kit now. Whereas when we hit the dummy, oh, that was still with ult cooldown reduction, never mind. Anyway, when we hit the dummy, our cooldown gets reset a little bit post level 10. By 0.7 seconds, that is. So yeah, again, lots of things you can do in your ult. Let's head over to level 12. So now we get a bigger light screen. You can see it has a bigger range and it protects you from more damage. Our agility is a slightly bigger dash, and coaching gives, I think, more shield. I don't really remember exactly, but I still have it here. Let me read it real quick. Coaching gives, oh, it just reduces the cooldown basically. That's all that happens with it. Okay, yeah, those are like the basics, I guess. There's quite a lot. Now I'm trying to think of all the little things that might be necessary to talk about. So there's one thing on mobile that's important, and on Switch as well. So you can see the speed at which I'm switching moves here. It's not that fast, but there is a way to do it quicker. If you like preemptively touch your screen, it does the cooldowns quicker, and in that sense you get to switch moves much faster. It is a bit tricky because you really have to get used to where each move is and just how fast you need to press it. So now I have coaching, but I obviously can't use that here. So if I go beam light screen, you do have to be careful with it because you can press your eject button on accident. So yeah, something worth noting is you can obviously, so you can do this and you can flash during your beam to reposition it. You can also use beam agility to reposition it, which is a pretty good combo late game if you're really strong, to be honest, but you probably want to play light screen more. We can obviously flash in for our E-Ball, but not much else to do with that. We can also, if we want to get more damage on our boosted auto attack, we can theoretically flash away to deal more damage. I don't think we can use it during Surf, right? No, we cannot use it during Surf. Yeah, we can use it in our ult to dive backline. That's another thing. There's so many things. And this way we will pretty much one-shot anyone in our ult. There's just so many things in this that I have to cover, and I can't think of them all right now, so I might have to do another take of this, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, there's loads of combos, right? Like, let's use our boosted attack. So for example, you want to put out your light screen, and then you get your beam off, you hit someone, you get your boosted, you pull in your light screen, and then you can beam again a little bit after, and you get another boosted again. And we can just deal loads and loads of damage from a big range like this. Someone's saying you can while casting Surf. What? You cannot while casting Surf though. I've been lied to. Oh right, I should also show you guys Secure on Ray. So I'm just gonna go into Evolve because that's gonna be our best Secure. And we'll get it low. I don't know the range very well. I think it's high. It's definitely higher than this, but hold on. Let's just see how much damage we can do. So this is probably our best Secure, is if we use this, our boosted, and our Evol all at once. You can see it does a huge chunk of damage all together. I'll try to do it again to be at a better range. I think this is a bit too low, but you can see we use our boosted, that was too early, and our Evol and our ult tick, and we do loads and loads of damage, and it's really good Secure. Oh, I missed. You didn't see that? Yeah, I think that's everything I can think of right now in terms of the basics. There's so much stuff to do. There's probably better videos out there from Mew. I am definitely not a pro at Mew by any means, and I do really need to practice it. But I think that's everything. You can obviously use coaching with Electro Ball. You can also use coaching in early lane with Electro Ball if you're playing very aggressive. Beam agility and beam light screen Evol with any of the moves, and Surf usually probably just with agility, I think is the way you would think about it. But yeah, I think that brings you to the end of it. That's all I can think of for now. Maybe I'll find out some stuff in the game or remember some stuff in the game again, but yeah, on to the games we go, because there's way too much stuff to think about. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We'll take it as a clip because I don't know, a lot of burst damage, I guess. Okay, but I'm like hard surfing this lane now. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore, but we'll take it, right? know why I'm coming from this angle. Oh, I did not mean to pick coaching, but it was pretty big surf. Alright, that brings us to the end of Mew Day, and we have gone, I believe, my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've gone 8 and 12 on Mew, and some of these games were just criminally miserable, but you guys won't get to see that. I don't think there's many clips. I don't think I did super amazing in a lot of things, but yeah, it was a rough day. It was a rough day on the Mew Day, but we regain for next time. And tomorrow, I think, hopefully a better day. What do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow we have a Zoomeril, which I think is pretty fine. I'll make that work. But yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging, and see you tomorrow. Peace.